Thank you very much, Engineer Obath, and your team for putting together this very important discussion. First of all, let me recognize the President of the International Chamber of Commerce International Court of Arbitration, Ms. Claudia Solomon, Mr. Patrick Obath, the President of ICC Kenya, Mr. Samuel Nderito, my immediate predecessor, who is also the Vice Chair of the ICC Kenya, Ms. Ndanga Kamau, a lady we are very proud of as Kenyans, always representing us out there in international arbitration, the Vice Chair of the ICC International Court of Arbitration, the Honorable Professor Githu Muigai, Chartered Arbitrator, Senior Counsel, former Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, an accomplished arbitrator in Kenya. The Honorable Mr. Justice Visram, retired judge of the Court of Appeal, and the former chair of the Mediation Accreditation Committee. I also see Ms. Njeri Kariuki, chartered arbitrator and member of the ICC International Court. I've seen her virtually. On behalf of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, I want to once again thank you for inviting us today to share with you on this occasion. I would like to make a few remarks. Number one, it's good to see many colleagues and friends after a long time. As arbitrators, we were used to conferences where we would come, sit, interact, but COVID happened. So it is a good experience coming from the ICC, and as a Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, we are taking lessons. We also want to try and get back to hybrid sessions, particularly for our trainings and conferences. When I was invited to speak, I thought to myself, what would I say? Speaking at the ICC, an accomplished international arbitration court, launching in Kenya. And I thought to myself, this would be an opportunity for me to speak about three important things to the African arbitrator. Number one, diversity. Number two, collaboration. And number three, partnerships. The Chartered Institute of Arbitrators is a membership body, an international global membership body started in 1915. Mostly used to train arbitrators, and now dealing with arbitration and ADR, arbitration, mediation, adjudication. The Chartered Institute of Arbitrators landed on our shores in the year 1984. So we are just 2 years shy or 3 years shy of our 40th anniversary. So as they say, life starts at 40, we are yet to start. However, I wanted to blend my experiences, my personal experiences with those of the Chartered Institute in Kenya for the last 15 or 20 years that I have known this institute. Now, when I attended an AGM of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators about 15 years ago, we had a handful of people seated at the Nairobi Club, about 10 or 15 members and others seated on the high table. The chairman rose to give a report for the year, and he reported that the institute had made 15 appointments that year, 15, 1-5. And the committee itself constituted 16 people. So I sat at the back as an associate and I asked myself, apart from the drinks and the beer I'm being given here, when will an appointment ever reach me if it cannot go around the table of the board members? Today, as we speak, last year alone, looking at our numbers, we made 290 appointments within a space of 15 years. And I would say, in the next 5 years, the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators is going to make appointments of neutrals in excess of 1,000 a year. So you can see what has happened in our lifetime in 15 short years. Looking at the numbers, in the 40 years we have been in existence, the Chartered Institute had only made one appointment of mediators until 2015. One appointment of a mediator. Today, the Chartered Institute has trained over 300 mediators. The Quarter Next Mediation, which is our key partner in this area, has over 900 mediators on his roster, has resolved over 1,000 cases, and I'm told over 34 billion shillings into the economy, has been returned into the economy. We also have adjudicators, a panel of adjudicators. As they say, numbers don't lie. Before 2016, we had not made a single appointment of an adjudicator. Today, I will tell you, for the 3 months I have been president or chairman, we have made at least 3 appointments, at least 1 appointment every month. And we make averagely about 8 to 10 appointments a year. When I started arbitration practice, particularly representing parties before arbitrators, you would appear before a judge and the judge would tell you, if you told a judge, my lord, I am not able to take a date because I have to appear before an arbitrator. I recall one judge asking me, do arbitrations actually take place during the morning sessions? I thought those are things you do in the afternoon, something you do on the side. Today, we have full-time arbitrators in this country. I just learned of a new one, Judge Visram today told me he's a full-time arbitrator and ADR practitioner. I know many, many people, Justice Togbo, Justice Mwera retired, Justice Nyamu, and many others I could name, who have full-time arbitration practice, and they're able to earn their bread from that. So the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators is a key partner to the ICC. We have today over 1,000 paid up members. We have trained over 2,000 people across Africa. We are in the process of establishing the Ugandan chapter. The Tanzanian chapter is almost coming on board. I know the chairman, the former chairman, Mr. Nderitu, is very excited about the Uganda chapter because that was his work he started, and Tanzania. One of the largest branches in Africa, Nigeria, was actually started by Kenyans, trained by Norman Mururu, Njeri Kariuki, and others. They have grown to surpass us in terms of numbers for obvious reasons. We have trained judges of the East Africa Court, the Comesa Court, the Kenyan Supreme Court, Court of Appeal, High Court. We have also helped to establish the Nairobi Center for International Arbitration, the brainchild of the former Attorney General, Professor Mwegai. In fact, I will tell you, 80% of the board members and 90% of the members of the arbitration panels are members of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. The Kigali International Arbitration Center is largely an effort of the Kenya branch of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. You see, they say, unless you tell your story, others are unlikely to tell it. So when I tell the story of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, I am talking about the story of arbitration in Africa. Capacity, competence, consistency, predictability. The president has spoken about those. That is what you get from the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. A global golden standard of training, accreditation, and consistent integrity. Africa is therefore ready for international arbitration. We have been ready. We have the personnel, we have the software, we have the hardware. We have the institutions, we have the people to run those institutions. Now, speaking of diversity, out of the 1,000 members at the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators Kenya, we have a diversity of professions. Over 10 professions are represented. Speak of engineers, architects, doctors, accountants, all those professions are represented. We also have a very interesting demographic. I was looking at our numbers on the panel of arbitrators. We have a panel of about 100 members. About 35% of those are actually young arbitrators under 45 years. The youngest member of our panel who joined a few months ago is hardly 27 years old and is a fellow of the Institute. I'm sure Professor Mwigai may know about that person in other circumstances. We also have members from across the globe. We have barristers from England who are members of the Kenya branch. We have members who are nationals of Ghana. We have people who are nationals of Nigeria. We have a judge of the Court of Appeal of Uganda. And therefore, we are as diverse as it comes. Ladies also represent about 35% of our membership. And when I speak about the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, we have made a deliberate policy shift to collaborate and partner with professional bodies, with business institutions. I know the chamber is about business, but for us, our business is dispute resolution. And in business, disputes are inevitable. And when disputes come, people in business want three things. They want quick solutions, they want consistent solutions, and they also want quality decisions. So apart from confidentiality and expertise, arbitration offers you the ability to predict, the ability to go before a tribunal that is impartial, that is neutral, but also which has the expertise to deal with your dispute. So we have entered into various partnerships. We have entered into partnerships with the Strathmore University, University of Nairobi, the Institute of Certified Secretaries, the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Law Society of Kenya, the Architectural Association of Kenya, the IEK, the AAK, Kenya School of Law, name it. Because we believe that for you to have an efficient ADR ecosystem, you need people, not only in courts, not only in business, but also the users of these particular dispute resolution mechanisms to understand how they work. Because people, naturally human beings, are opposed to things they don't understand. Once people understand something, they become your allies. And that is the experience we have had. Lastly, is to speak about two very important things we want to do as a Chartered Institute before the year ends. Our patron, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, is happy to join us in a roundtable. A roundtable of ADR stakeholders, business people, KEPSA, the ICC, the Chamber of Commerce, judges and magistrates, lawyers, all the people who participate in the chain of justice related to arbitration and ADR. We're organizing a roundtable where we can have candid discussions about the difficulties, about the achievements, about the future, about the prospects of ADR in Kenya. So, Mr. Chairman and Madam President, we will be inviting the ICC to join us on that occasion to discuss and build on our experiences in that area. Secondly, we are preparing a state of ADR report in Kenya, where you have the facts and figures, where you have the names, the institutions, the persons, the software and the hardware, a one-stop reference document on arbitration and ADR in Kenya, a useful tool for practitioners, for members of the public, because just this morning I heard the chair of KEPSA saying, we don't know about these good things you're talking about. So we want to give you these good things in one document. On a click of a button, on the turning of a page, you are able to tell what exactly arbitrators do, what kind of qualifications they have, what we do in this country, what sectors of expertise we have. And again, as we go forward, we have deliberately made it our business to champion, to celebrate our champions in this area, particularly people who have raised our flag internationally out there. People like Sam Derito, who have brought ICC to us. Ndanga Kamau, who has risen to the position of vice chair. Njeri Kariuki, who has trained many of us and is now a trailblazer at ICC in the international level. Dr. Kariuki Mwigwa and others who have taken time to project the image of the Chartered Institute and arbitrators in Kenya. Mine is to congratulate the ICC, to say that in the Chartered Institute, you have a worthy partner. I have seen you pitching for members. If you are looking for members anywhere, the Chartered Institute is a place to go. 1,000+ people trained and accredited and certified in arbitration. We have been around for 105 years, 5 years older than the ICC. So we have slightly more experience. And we have been here for 40 years. You have just come. So we will help you walk. We will hold your hand until you get to your destination. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Chair. And I'll move quickly. I'm short. Let me just. Okay. For the next. Okay, sorry. So for the next panel, before the next panel comes to the stage, I'd like technical people, kindly let's go to Mentimeter.